Regent Lee, I'm seeing your cell number on. Can you unmute and check in real quick before we start? *6 if you're on your cell phone. You can ask him to. Okay. He might be on a call. Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Laura in the system office. We're going to get started with the call. And with that, I will turn it over to Chair Crane.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Regent Gary Crane. Welcome to the Telephonic Academic and Health Affairs Committee meeting for Monday, November the 8th, 2021. For the record, Laura, the time is 2:02. This meeting has been duly posted with Secretary of State as required by the open meetings laws. Please note the audio of this meeting is being broadcast live. Before we take the roll call, I'd like to remind everyone, as you know, we need to mute our phones unless, of course, you need to speak. Laura, let's begin the roll call with the regents, please.
Thank you. I'll start with you, Chair Crane.
I am here.
Regent Harrell.
I'm here as well.
Thank you. Let me try again for Regent Lee. Okay. Regent Flores.
Present.
Thank you. I believe we have Student Regent Camille Sedegas.
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you. Do we have any other regents on the call? Okay, thank you.
All right, Laura, let's thank you, regents. Let's turn now to a roll call of the system office representatives. Laura?
This is Stephen Lee. I'm sorry, I just was able to get on the call.
Okay, thank you, Regent Lee. We are on roll call right now, and we're moving from regents to the staff, so I have checked you in. Thank you. Moving on to Chancellor McCall, are you there? Dr. Hayek?
Here.
Sean Cunningham?
Here.
Daniel Harper?
Here.
Derek Alexander?
Here.
Mike Winnemute?
Here.
Nellie Herrera?
Here.
Thank you. Carol Fox?
Here.
Pierce Mitchell?
Here.
Have I missed any other system staff on the call? Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you all. Now, Laura, let's have a roll call for the component representatives.
Sure, let's start with Lamar University.
This is Dr. Brenda Nichols, Provost at Lamar, and Dr. Jaime Taylor, President of Lamar.
Thank you. Let's move to Sam Houston.
This is Mike Stevenson, Provost at Sam Houston, with McCartney Johnson, Deputy to the President.
Thank you. Sol Ross. Do we have anyone on from Sol Ross? Okay, they might be joining us later. Texas State University.
Denise Trouth here, along with Provost Jean Bourgeois and Vice President Lisa Lloyd.
Thank you, Dr. Trouth. LIT.
Lonnie Howard, Angela Hill, and Veronica Garcia.
Thank you, Dr. Howard. Lamar State College Orange. I know Dr. Johnson texted me asking if we could hear him, so right now we cannot hear you. Hopefully by the time we get to you, you'll be fixed here. And finally, Lamar State College, Port Arthur.
Good afternoon, Betty Renard and Pam Millsap.
Thank you, Dr. Renard. And that concludes roll call unless anyone else has joined us since.
Laura, this is Pete. I accidentally disconnected myself from at Sol Ross, but I'm back on, and so.
Okay. Is anyone with you, President Gallego?
Dr. Moore was supposed to be on the call as well, but we may be having the same issue.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
All right. Thanks to all the component representatives for your presence. I'd also like to note that Dr. John Hayek had a chance to brief me on all the agenda items. So at this time, I'll turn the meeting over to Dr. John, who will present the Academic and Health Affairs Committee agenda items. Dr. John, take it over.
Thank you, Regent Crane. Good afternoon, everyone. We will jump in here to our action items, and Regent Crane, if it's okay with you, since a number of the first items are Lamar State College Orange items, let's have a double check here to see if President Johnson or Dr. Elmore are on the line by chance.
So Dr. Johnson.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
We're on the phone.
Okay, we got you now. Thank you.
Okay, great.
Perfect. We've been here. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. So, Regent Crane, if it's okay with you, our action items are all Lamar State College Orange items, and then we have a couple information items. So, if it's okay with you, I might just recommend that President Johnson or Dr. Elmore kind of walk us through each one of their new proposals, and maybe if they could pause, and then we could just collectively, since it's one institution, just take one vote on their items, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, Dr. Hayek, that sounds like a good idea. There's 7 of those items, 3A down through 3G. I'd say let's take it away, and we'll stop at 3G and take an assessment of it.
Great. So the first item, President Johnson or Dr. Elmore?
I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Elmore. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. So the first program proposal that we are recommending is for a cosmetology operator certificate and a business management cosmetology operator associate of applied science degree. And so this came to us from partners in Orange County, dual credit. There are several of our high schools that offer cosmetology, and they wanted to partner with us to be able to articulate the college credit as well as allow it to feed into an AAS degree. So we know that hairstylists and cosmetologists work in salons, and they provide haircuts, hairstyles, and a range of other services. They are licensed in Texas by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. And in the Orange County high schools, including Little Cypress, Mauriceville, West Orange Stark, Bridge City, and Vidor, all have vibrant cosmetology programs that focus on preparing their students to become cosmetology operators licensed by TDLR. According to the Department of Labor's Bureau of Labor Statistics, employment of cosmetologists and hairstylists is projected to grow 19% in the next decade, which is faster than the average for all other occupations. Currently, there are about 85,000 openings for hairstylists and cosmetologists projected each year over the next decade. And most of these are expected to result from the need to replace workers who transfer to different occupations or exit the labor force, such as to retire. So our certificate is designed for dual enrollment, providing high school students the preparatory education and experience in the cosmetology career field. It is used as a stackable credential in the proposed cosmetology operator business management associate of applied arts and science degree. And then Bachelor of Applied Arts and Science programs are available throughout the state of Texas as well. Both of these proposed programs will meet all of the requirements and guidelines for approval by the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board and by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commissions on Colleges. The next program we are proposing is for court reporting certificate and an Associate of Applied Science degree. You may recall last year that we had a court reporting program that was introduced in our non-credit program. It has been very popular. We've already served 20 students. So we are requesting to move this to credit. to provide students a new avenue for training, skills, and knowledge to work locally within Southeast Texas or Southwest Louisiana. They complete either court reporting award will have an interest in pursuing a career related to repairing and maintaining and court reporting skills across the state. So court reporting is a sector of the business industry, and it's licensed in Texas by the Judicial Branch Certification Commission. Most court reporters work in courts or legislatures. However, some work from home or a central office providing broadcast captioning for television stations for hard of hearing individuals. The court reporter makes a verbatim record of legal proceedings in a courtroom or deposition setting and provides a certified transcript for use by the legal profession. Employment of court reporters is projected to grow 9% in the next decade, again, much faster than the average for all occupations. According to the U.S. Department of Labor's Bureau of Labor Statistics, the median annual wage was $60,000 in 2019. Students completing the AAS and working as a certified shorthand reporter for a minimum of 3 years will be qualified to also teach for this program. This program will meet all the requirements and guidelines for approval by the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board, Texas Judicial Branch Certification Commission, and the Southern Association of College and Schools Commission on College. The next program that LSCO is proposing is Dental Office Basic Certificate, and it's Dental Assisting Associate of Applied Science. So dental assistants work under the supervision of a licensed dentist and assist in the care and treatment of dental patients. They perform a variety of important functions in the dental office, including but not limited to preparing the patient for treatment, providing the dentist with necessary instruments, instructing patients in proper oral hygiene, recording dental services, and various laboratory procedures. According to the U.S. Department of Labor's Bureau of Labor Statistics, employment is projected to grow in this field 11% in the next decade, faster than average for all occupations. And the median annual wage for dental assistants in 2020 was about $41,000. The Dental Office Basic Certificate that we are proposing is designed for dual enrollment, providing high school students the preparatory education and experience in the dental career field. It will be used as a stackable credential into the existing dental assistance program. We are also proposing an Associate of Applied Science to use the existing stackable credentials, and if approved, it will provide students the opportunity to gain competencies not only in dental assisting fields, but also in oral and written communication, as well as math and business specific to the workplace. Both of these proposed programs will meet all of the requirements and guidelines for approval by the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board and Southern Association of College and Schools Commissions on Colleges. LSCO is also proposing a Massage Therapy Certificate and Associate of Applied Science certificate and degree. Massage therapy is a healthcare profession regulated also by Texas Department of Licensing and Regulations, or TDLR. They treat clients by using touch to manipulate the muscles and other soft tissues of the body. They can help relieve pain, help heal injuries, improve circulation, relieve stress, increase relaxation, and aid in the general wellness of their clients. Massage therapy is one of the fastest growing industries of our time, setting records by reaching high growth in a slow economy. The demand for professionally trained massage therapists continues to rise. The starting pay for licensed massage therapy varies depending on whether the therapist becomes an employee, a self-employed, or a business owner. The employment is projected to grow 22% from 2018 to 2028, much faster than average for all occupations. Proposed certificate is stackable to the credential to the Massage Therapy Business Management AAS degree that's also being proposed. That will prepare students to open or manage a small business in massage therapy. Both of the proposed programs will meet all of the requirements and guidelines for approval by the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board and the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commissions on Colleges. The LSCO is also proposing a Mechanical Manufacturing and Maintenance Certificate and Associate of Applied Science. So the certificate and AAS will provide students a new avenue for training, skills, and knowledge to work locally within Southeast Texas or Southwest Louisiana. Students completing either the certificate or degree will have an interest in pursuing a career related to repairing and maintaining equipment used in industry as well as manufacturing. Mechanical and maintenance technicians perform routine checks as well as troubleshoot and quick repair quickly repair mechanical or electrical problems that arise within manufacturing processes and support equipment or such systems. Students pursuing this certificate or degree will be exposed to multiple facets of machinery and equipment while acquiring a foundation for entry-level employment with local distribution, manufacturing, and refinery businesses. Between now and 2028, Southeast Texas is projected to see 10 to 39% employment change in the non-standard occupational classifications related to the training, skills, and knowledge which will be provided by the Mechanical Manufacturing and Maintenance Certificate. Both of these awards will meet all requirements of the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board as well as the schools of commissions and colleges. Pharmacy Tech is our next proposed program. We have an existing certificate, but we are proposing to add an Associate of Applied Science. Pharmacy technicians work under the supervision of a registered pharmacist. They work in pharmacies, including those found in drug, general merchandise stores, and hospitals. They help dispense prescription medications to customers or to health professionals. The Pharmacy Technology Business Management Associate of Applied Science degree is designed to use the existing courses within the current Pharmacy Technology Level 1 certificate, which is fully accredited by the American Society of Health System Pharmacists, ASHP. And by the way, we had a call last Friday by this accrediting body, and one of the recommendations was that we expand our existing certificates to an AAS. So that was a solid endorsement of this proposal as well. So if approved, this new AAS will provide students the opportunity to gain competencies not only in pharmacy tech fields, but also in oral and written communication, as well as math and business. This proposed program is 60 semester credit hours. It will meet all of the requirements and guidelines for approval by the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board and the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools and Commissions of Colleges. The last new program that we're proposing is a Production Welder Certificate and Welding Technology Associate of Applied Science degree. We currently have a Level 1 certificate. The welders work in a variety of industries ranging from shipbuilding, automobile manufacturing and repair, aerospace applications, and thousands of other manufacturing jobs. They use large machinery as well as handheld or remotely controlled equipment to join, repair, or cut metal parts and products, and they may work outdoors, often in inclement weather, or indoors, sometimes in a confined area. According to the U.S. Department of Labor's Bureau of Labor and Statistics, there are about 49,000 openings for welders, cutters, solderers, brazers, and are projected each year over the next decade. This production welding certificate is designed for dual enrollment, providing high school students the preparatory education and experience in the welding industry. It is to be used as a stackable credential into the existing welding certificate as well as the proposed Welding Technology Associate of Applied Science. If approved, this Welding Technology Associate of Applied Science will provide students the opportunity to gain competencies not only in welding but also in the oral and written communication as well as math and business, specific to the workplace for those who intend on seeking opportunities to complete a Bachelor of Applied Arts and Sciences in preparation for supervisory roles within the industry. Both of the proposed programs will meet all of the requirements and guidelines for approval by the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board and the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commissions on Colleges. That concludes all of the new programs being proposed by Lamar State College Orange. I'll entertain any questions.
I don't have any questions, but I want to thank Lamar State College at Orange for these pursuits. They're certainly worthy and timely. Thank you.
Regent Crane. This is Nikki. This is Nikki Harrell.
Oh, Nikki.
Could I ask a question? Yeah.
Sure.
It's really not a question. It's more, I guess, an observation after hearing all this and thinking about all these new programs. Would it be fair to say that this is going to have a significant impact on even enrollment at LSCO?
I would
it looks
think
like
so.
You can project some numbers on that. Have you done that yet?
We've done some rudimentary analysis, Regent Hall. We're actually meeting the call of our area school districts in many of these requests, as well as business partners. One example of a business partner that's strongly endorsing the MMM that I'm bringing to you today came and met with us last Thursday, and they have sent us a commitment this morning of $500,000, in excess of $500,000 commitment to help to equip the new program, as well as provide scholarship for students. So while the enrollment is something we're certainly excited about, we are excited about serving the needs of our communities, that they're really coming together. They will then also hire our students. This is a worldwide company that's been in our backyard since 1973, and they had not stepped foot on Lamar State College Orange campus until last Thursday. So we are trying mightily to develop some long-lasting relationships. And sure, we do believe that enrollment will benefit, but we're looking to change the lives of all the students in this corner of Texas.
And how soon would these be able to be implemented after they're approved?
Several of those that I've requested today require a SACS approval. So the earliest we are submitting that documentation, which is pretty hefty, in December for approval to be considered for fall of 2022. A few of the others can go earlier than that, but the several of them are what they call a substantive change, a substantive departure from our existing programs. So we have to seek their request ahead of time.
Well, it's very exciting. I may be wrong in saying this because I haven't been on the board that long, but it seems like this is like setting a record of new programs started at one time. It's pretty amazing.
I work with a great group of people, and they have been very, very busy. I'm very grateful for them letting me work beside them.
Sounds exciting.
Are there any other questions or comments? Dr. John, why don't we turn this over to you to do 3H and 3.1, and thank you, Lamar State College.
Thank you, Regent Crane. If we could, I'd recommend we take, if you can ask for a vote to move A through G forward. And then since H and I are just informational, then we'll kind of then go quickly into the consent items after that.
Certainly. Let me call again to the regents. Are there any questions? If not, then I move that we have a motion to move 3A through 3G to the full agenda of the board next week. Regent Harrell, do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree.
Thank you very much. How about Regent Lee?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, Dr. John, those we're going to move forward and take 3H and 3I, please.
Great. We'll do that. H and I are informational items only and don't require a vote. H is the certified enrollment report for summer of 2021, and I is the preliminary enrollment report for fall of 2021. Similar to, in general, trends that we're noticing at comparable public four-year institutions and two-year institutions across the state over the past year or so, our enrollment seems to trend pretty consistently with comparable institutions. There's been a lot of stress and uncertainty on enrollments over the last 18 months or so due to COVID and the respective issues and implications for the labor market and students and families. And so across the state, it's not uncommon for a lot of community colleges to see declines of enrollment, 5 to 10%, and many universities are reporting flat to down to 5% over the past year or so. So again, those are informational items, and we will move now on to consent agenda items. So the first one is the Lamar University addition of a graduate certificate in fermentation science and engineering. With that, I'll turn it over to President Taylor or Dr. Nichols.
Hi, this is Dr. Nichols. Yes, the first one at page 58, it is a graduate certificate in fermentation sciences and engineering. It's a 12 credit hour certificate in 4 courses. They require 3 core courses and 1 elective. Actually, this is in relationship to brewing. So those of you who enjoy a beer or two might enjoy knowing about this one. It allows some of our students with degrees in engineering and chemistry to get certificates in brewing and to understand that process of fermentation. So that's the first one. John, do we vote on these all together, or go ahead and do 3 of them?
You can do all 3, and then we'll just continue to go and ask questions. Then as a collective, we'll vote on all the consent items as one.
This is, again, for fall, starting in fall. It's an 18-hour graduate certificate in history. This program will allow someone who has a bachelor's degree to become graduate qualified in order to teach in dual credit or in community colleges in the area of history. Our plan is to open up more of these graduate certificates to allow people with other baccalaureate degrees to end up with a concentration area for teaching at either the dual credit or community college level. And the third request that we have is the MED degree plans and certificate programs. This actually is the culmination of some stuff that we did the last time, which is to replace 2 of our courses and to demonstrate where those courses are added and deleted. The courses were approved at the previous meeting. This solidifies that in showing which courses are being replaced with which other courses. So we are kind of moving more towards a research methods rather than research methods in special area, and then school law as a broader topic rather than school law in various areas. It allows us to reach all kinds of students, particularly in the K through 12 area. We wanted to make sure that the student teachers or the teachers had the broadest exposure to student law or school law, not just in a very specific arena, helping them to hopefully practice better and know more in the future should they change jobs. So I'd entertain questions. All 3 of these have been through our processes, and I present them to you guys for approval.
Great. With no questions, we'll move on to a number of consent items for Sam Houston State University. Dr. Stevenson, would you like to take these?
Yes, sir. Thank you. The first one is a new certificate program. It's an undergraduate certificate in security and resilience in the chemical and energy sectors. It's a 15 credit hour online certificate designed to educate students working in or seeking careers in areas related to security and resilience of infrastructures in the chemical and energy sectors. This will be very important to Southeast Texas since it's a global hub for the energy industry. The second certificate program, also an undergraduate certificate in security and resilience, but this one focused on the transportation sector. It's also a 15 semester credit hour undergraduate certificate. And this is designed to educate students working in or seeking careers in areas related to security and the resilience of infrastructure in transportation. So again, Eastern and Central Texas, which are roughly equidistant from both coasts, serve as logistical hubs for many companies. Board of Houston is certainly one of the largest ones that we have, and this certificate will be applicable to that area. The third is a 15 semester credit hour certificate, also an undergraduate certificate in security and resilience. This one is focused on the healthcare sector. Again, 15 hours for undergraduates. The Houston area is a major hub for healthcare. We have over 376,000 people who are employed in healthcare in that area, and focused really on employees who are tasked with ensuring the security and resilience of our healthcare facilities, as well as those companies that operate in those areas. Then we have 2 additional items. One is simply to create new departments in the Newton Gresham Library. Currently, all of the individuals report up to the executive director, which is pretty inefficient since there's 20 plus faculty in there. What this does essentially is creates two academic departments within the library. One is called Library Public Services, and the other is Library Technical Services. And this way, the faculty in the library will have essentially two levels of administrative evaluation at the department level and then by the executive director prior to those reviews being submitted to the provost office. Then the last thing is just a graduate certificate in educational technology. This is moving it from one unit to another. It's currently housed in the Department of Computer Science. We had previously moved some related courses as well as some faculty that were related to this particular area to the Department of Library Science and Technology within the College of Education. So we are just requesting approval to relocate that certificate with those courses and those faculties from computer science into the Department of Library Science and Technology. I believe that captures all of my items.
Great, thank you. Any questions on those?
John, I have a question again. This is Nikki. If I'm understanding these certificates, this is like a new, is it a new, it's something new, right? It's a new certificate.
Correct.
Okay. So why is this under consent agenda instead of taking an action on it?
Well, yeah, even though they're consent, even though there's still consent items, we'll still take action just collectively. You know, over the years, we've typically put kind of just certificates and consent and kind of really maintained action items for new associate degrees, bachelor degrees, masters, and doctoral degrees. That's kind of how we've just tended to logistically take on the new programs.
Okay, it's kind of precedent that's been set there. I just didn't understand that, especially when we're approving the individual new programs that LSCO, and then these. I just wondered why. I just wondered.
Yeah, that's a great
That
question.
helps. Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, if not, we'll move on to the Lamar Institute of Technology items. President Howard or Dr. Hill, would you like to start with 3S?
Regent Crane committee, I'm going to ask Dr. Angela Hill to present our 11 consent items. Angela?
Okay. All right. Very good.
Thank you, Dr. Howard. Good afternoon, everyone. As Dr. Howard stated, LIC has 11 board motions, and so in the interest of time, I will attempt to go through the motions as quickly as possible. Starting with our first motion, we have an addition of our Level 1 certificate in SWIFT programming. So this certificate was recommended by the advisory committee, but also of interest of our dual credit partners, as well as our current LIT students, as many of our programming students have an interest in learning more about the Apple programming language. So this SWIFT certificate allows students to not only learn about Apple programming, but also expand their familiarity with multiple programming languages upon graduation. This program change is brought about for the needed skills of programmers entering the workforce. This is an 18-hour Level 1 certificate that is stackable within our LIT's Associate of Applied Science and Computer Information Systems. So this creates or expands the dual credit pathway of our students after their K-12 graduation. And Dr. Haig, are we just going through all of the items?
Yeah, you can just pause very briefly after each one, just in case there's a unique question, but yes, you can just kind of continue on.
Okay, thank you, sir. So in addition to adding or making changes for our Level 1 certificate in SWIFT programming, those same courses will also be offered in our Associate of Applied Science and Computer Information Systems. And so this makes those changes of the Apple programming courses also a subset in our AAS. And it also expands, like I stated before, the programming language offerings of our current course offerings. This change will better prepare our students to meet the demand of programmer skills that's needed in the workforce. So moving to our third motion, This is the revision of our Associate in Applied Science and Cybersecurity and Technology. So actually, U and V will go together, as V is a subset, meaning level 1 certificate, into the AAS in our cybersecurity technology. So as a response to our advisory committee, as well as seeing that we had 2 closely aligned programs, we had the computer networking and troubleshooting program, as well as our troubleshooting technology program. Both advisory committees recommend that we merge the 2 similar programs to create 1 associate in applied science in cybersecurity and networking technology. Merging these 2 programs will meet the industry need of our students learning both information technology and cybersecurity courses before graduation. This revision will eliminate 4 courses, but we'll also add the most current courses that's to align with our WICM. And so those same courses that we're adding and changing in the 3rd motion, those changes will be reflective also in the level 1 certificate, where merging the 2 certificates of those 2 programs will have a new name. That's the level 1 certificate in cyber defense technology. And this level 1 certificate will also be a stackable into our associate in applied science of the cybersecurity and networking technology. So that will take care of our motions of U and V. Are there any questions before I move to the next motion? Okay. Moving on, our next motion is to revise our Associate of Applied Science in Real Estate. And here we're simply eliminating our brokerage course, but by adding a real estate investment course. And this will better prepare our students to work with investment real estate properties upon graduation. Our next motion is to revise the Associate in Applied Science in Management Development to change the name to Associate in Applied Science in Management and Entrepreneurship. So this was highly recommended by advisory committee as well as our business partners. What we're doing here is adding credentials or opportunity for our technical students that's achieving technical degrees or certificates to also create a management and entrepreneurship credential. After living through the time of COVID, we noticed that a lot of our skilled workers became entrepreneurs where they worked for themselves. So in this credential, you will find that we have 12 credit hours where students will be able to come from any technical background, use those 12 credit hours as approved electives, while also mentioning to a business credential. Moving to the next motion, it also is a subset of what I previously stated about our Associate in Applied Science for Management and Entrepreneurship. This has a level 1 certificate. So the level 1 certificate will be renamed to Management and Entrepreneurship. This level 1 certificate at one time was 30 hours. Now we're reducing it to 18 hours. This also includes 9 credit hours of approved electives. Going back to what I just mentioned about our technical students being able to use their technical credit hours to achieve a business credential to help upon their completion of graduation. This also, our level 1 certificate would also be offered throughout our dual credit offerings. Moving to the next motion, LIT is requesting permission to revise the Associate of Applied Science in Accounting Technology. Here, we're simply eliminating our bookkeeping course and adding a 2nd level accounting course, which is an Introduction to Accounting 2. Moving to our next motion, which one deals with an Associate of Applied Science and a level 2 certificate in child care development. Here we are reclassifying our courses, moving from an academic course offering to a technical course offering in both credentials. This shift will also aid in our faculty hiring and credentialing of staff or faculty to teach. In this motion, you'll see the Associate of Applied Science in Child Care and Development shifting with the course changes, as well as the next motion where we're taking the level 2 certificate, which is a stackable, into the Child Care and Development Associate's degree. And we are making the reclassification of that academic course to a technical course as well. LIT's last motion of today's call, we're requesting permission to revise our Associate in Applied Science and Health Information Technology. And here we're replacing the English 1301 with HUMA 1315 to meet our Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges General Education, Humanities, and Fine Arts requirement for technical degrees. This concludes the motions and curriculum changes being presented by Lamar Institute of Technology. Are there any questions?
Great, thank you very much, Dr. Hill. And with that, we'll move on to 3DD, which is, and EE, which are a couple additional items for Lamar State College Orange. Dr. Elmore?
Thank you very much. So these are somewhat connected to the dental assisting certificate. We have an existing 34 semester credit hour level 1 certificate. The adjustments that we're proposing will create, will add actually an exam review course as well as a learning framework. These are also included in the proposed programs that I mentioned earlier. So the modifications will meet all the requirements and guidelines for approval by the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board and Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commissions on Colleges. And then EE refer to some changes made in our Information Technology Support Assistant Certificates and our Information Technology Support Specialist degree. Specifically, we are changing the courses. We are removing an elective, and we are reframing it, replacing it with an Enterprise Networking and Security and Automation course that's throughout a stackable, 2 stackable certificates, and then another Associate of Applied Science. So that basically these are at the request of our advisory committees, and it's to help prepare our students to complete the CCNA Information Technology certification from Cisco Systems, as well as other CompTIA certifications. So these modifications are basically requested to better prepare students to complete the certifications that are essential for their entry into information technology careers today. The modified programs will meet all of the requirements and guidelines for approval by the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board as well as the Commission on College. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you very much. And the final 2 items are miscellaneous curriculum changes in 3FF, and as well as some new proposals for out-of-state, out-of-country study programs starting in the summer of 22. With that, Regent Crane, that ends the consent items, and we'll turn it over to you for a vote.
All right, thank you, Dr. Haig. Now that we've reviewed each one of these consent items on a one-on-one basis, before I make the motion, let me make sure that, are there any questions about any of these that we haven't answered or any concerns anybody has?
No more questions for me.
Right, Nikki, I'm going to note that.
I listened well.
Now, you ask good questions. Thank you for doing that, by the way. All right, then. I make the motion that we move all of the consent items, I think that's 3J through 3GG, to the full board consent agenda for discussion and approval. And Regent Harrell, how do you vote on that? Do you approve it?
I approve.
All right, thank you very much. And Regent Lee?
Yes, sir, I approve.
All right, thank you. All right, Dr. Hack, we've moving all those items over to the full board consent agenda. I want to thank everyone for calling in. And unless there's any further discussion, this concludes our telephone meeting of today. And of course, I look forward to seeing everyone next week for a board meeting in Huntsville at Sam Houston State University. For the record, the time is 2:44. That concludes our meeting. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.